Welcome to the Equipped Disciple channel. My name is Rick McClatchy. I will be your host. We are here to be and to make disciples of Jesus, and we do that through daily devos, through Sunday sermons, and through other discipleship resources. We are here to equip you to be an equipped disciple. All right, welcome into another day of your daily devos. I'm Pastor Rick, and we are jumping into the second little section of Proverbs chapter 12, the fool's way. It's one of the things we're going to talk about. Obviously, these are kind of independent proverbs, so we tend to be a little all over the map as far as the different topics that are covered from verse to verse. But one of the ones that we want to hone in on kind of focuses on the fool's way. So let's jump on in. Verse 9: better to be disregarded yet have a servant than to act important but have no food. So in their day, to have a servant would have been pretty normal, like standard level of living kind of a thing. Must be nice, right? And so I just want somebody to be able to make me French toast. Okay, that's all I want. No. So better to be disregarded yet have a servant. So have people not really care one way or the other, but then to have a normal level of living than to act important but have no food. So to be acting in such a way that people think certain things about you because you care more about what people think about you than what is actually going on. And so it's just, it's the trap of caring far too much what other people think about you, and then having it affect the way you live your life, and not living your life with the level of wisdom that you should be living your life, and then kind of reaping the negative rewards of that, if you will. Verse 10: the righteous cares about his animal's health, but even the merciful acts of the wicked are cruel. So the righteous cares even about his animal's health. So it is godly and righteous to care for your animals. So there you go. But even the merciful acts of the wicked are cruel, because the mindset, the perspective of the wicked person are so messed up that even things that they think are merciful are actually cruel. And obviously you could probably go through some time and find some wicked people in history that did things that they would have classified as merciful, but they were actually quite cruel. The one who works his land will have plenty of food, but whoever chases fantasies lacks sense. And so do the thing that has been given to you to work. So work your land, work the thing that you're good at, work the thing that you have the skill, the talent, the ability for. Don't be chasing the get rich quick. Don't be chasing the things that are just, total foolish fantasy ideas. Do the steady work, do the little by little, and you'll see, because when you're working the land, you're not gathering things. You're not getting a return constantly, right? There are times where you get up, you go and you do the work of plowing the land, you do the work of planting the land, you do the work of maintaining the land, and then and only then finally do you get to the point where you are reaping from the land. But you will. It's going to work. You will have plenty of food, but whoever chases fantasies where it might seem like the answer will come quicker, the solution pops up, but it's not true, because it's just a fantasy. It's an illusion. So you're going to do all of this, effort, but you're going to come up empty in the end. So just work your land. Work what God has given you to work. Verse 12: the wicked desire what evil people have caught. The wicked desire what evil people have caught, but the root of the righteous is productive. By rebellious speech, an evil person is trapped, but a righteous person escapes from trouble. By rebellious speech, an evil person is trapped, but a righteous person escapes from trouble. Because when you tell the truth, when you do what's right, God favors those who do what is right. We read about that yesterday. And so the rebellious speech of an evil person traps them, right? Because they start to make enemies along the way because of their rebellious speech. And so you have to just watch out for what comes out of your mouth. And again, like we talked about yesterday, the mouth is the overflow of the heart. So when you have things coming out of your mouth that you think maybe shouldn't be coming out of your mouth, the very next thing to look at is your heart. What's going on in my heart? Why do I have this stuff coming out of my mouth? And how can I address what's in my heart to fix what's coming out of my mouth? Don't just try to tame your tongue. Don't just try to, act right. Like, actually try to fix what's going on in your heart by surrendering it to the Lord and asking God to help you with that. Verse 14, a person will be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the work of a person's hands will reward him. That actually the fruit of your mouth, the fruit of what you speak into people's lives or what you talk about is going to be something that will either satisfy or leave you hungry. So it's good to just take stock of what is coming out of your mouth. Again, what's coming out of your mouth? What kind of words are you speaking? What are you talking about? And what do you see as being the fruit of that work? And then the work of a person's hand will reward him. And so being, again, kind of going back to that, the verse over here, the one that works his land will have plenty of food, but whoever chases fantasies lacks sense. Just put your hands to work, right? Do the work that's in front of you. The work of a person's hands will reward him. Even when it doesn't feel like it, even when it doesn't look like it, because you're in that season where you're just sowing into the ground and it hasn't yet, popped up out of the soil and shown you, wow, there's something happening here. Verse 15, a fool's way is right in his own eyes, but whoever listens to counsel is wise. So here's the fool's way is pride. The fool's way is my way or the highway, baby. And always thinking that what you see and what you're looking at is the right thing. But whoever listens to counsel is wise. So we need to be a humble people that are willing to hear what other people have to say, to take it under advisement, if you will. It doesn't mean you have to do every single thing that other people suggest. Listening to counsel doesn't mean that you're doing everything that they say to do, but it does mean that you're allowing other people to fill out your perspective, to increase the scope that you're looking at so that you can make wiser decisions and you can be clearer on what you're accomplishing. A fool's way is right in his own eyes, but whoever listens to counsel is wise. A fool's displeasure is known at once, but whoever ignores an insult is sensible. So this is where guard your face, right? Guard what's going on your face. And so a fool's displeasure is known at once because they probably can't control their mouth at all. And so they're probably mouthing back at you like real quick when something happens that they're not too keen on. There's this thing about ignoring an insult, being able to just pass over a moment and not immediately respond to it and give yourself some time to think it through. And I can tell you so many times I've had those experiences where you hear something and it hits you wrong. And man, if you had responded, or I should say reacted in that moment, just according to what it felt like, you probably would have made a less than wise decision. You would have responded in a way that would have been really negative and would have taken it further down. And so here you can see a fool's displeasure is known at once. Boom. Like they hear the insult and man, they are back at you. But whoever ignores an insult is sensible. There's this sensibleness to being able to pass it over, to give it some thought, and then maybe come back around and talk about it later when it's not this emotional firestorm possibility. Verse 17, whoever speaks the truth declares what is right, but a false witness speaks deceit. Whoever speaks the truth declares what is right. What is true is always the right thing. Like, honesty is not just the best policy. It is the policy. What other policy is there? I mean, really, like what else makes sense? There's one who speaks rashly like a piercing sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. That's a pretty powerful picture right there of just a piercing sword or bringing healing. Do you want to stab and cut and injure people with what you say because you think you're just being honest, like speaking rashly of just, somebody says something and you fire right back? It's like a piercing sword. Or the tongue of the wise that takes time to consider, takes time to weigh it out, takes time to consider what is the best way for me to communicate this. can actually bring healing in situations. And isn't that the more effective way for us to go about it? That we communicate the truth, because whoever speaks the truth declares what is right. We're not going to be a false witness and speak deceit, because that will never bring healing. That will never bring help. But we want to be people that bring healing with what we speak, because we don't just react, but we think about it, and we make sure that we're not being insulting, injurious. Like, we want to make sure that we're giving thought to the words of our mouth, because the words of our mouth, again, if we go back to one of these verses back here, let's see, that verse 14, a person will be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth. If you're going to be satisfied by the fruit of your mouth because what you're saying is good, then you're going to want to definitely not be speaking rashly, not just be, popping off at the mouth kind of a thing. So I hope that you've given some consideration today to the way of humility, which is the opposite of the way of the fool. Because the fool does what is right in his own eyes, that his way seems right to him. But a wise person receives counsel, and a wise person watches their mouth, right? Like, it's crazy how often this keeps coming up in Proverbs, that a book about wisdom would have so much to say about watching your mouth. Like, watch what you say. Be careful about how you talk to people, because it has such an impact on other people. So with that, God bless you. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.